Well, ladies and gentlemen, with Taunton Town £237,000 in debt, and a club projection that says that's only going to get worse over the next 3 seasons, in today's episode, we have the opportunity to go on a bit of an FA Cup run and bring a bit of income into the club. Welcome back to our Zero to Hero series and episode 21 with Taunton Town, where, as I mentioned, today we've got quite a big FA Cup tie, as we can see, against Portsmouth. Since you were last with me yesterday, we have played through a few more matches since the Harrogate and the Eastleigh matches. We are having a few draws still, but more importantly, we managed to beat Margate 5-2 in the FA Cup 4th qualifying round, redeeming last year's loss and getting us into the FA Cup 1st round proper, where we're facing Portsmouth. And Fratton Park has, I believe, a capacity of 21,000. Yep, there we go, a used capacity of 21,000. We are away. We are going to get a proportion or a percentage of those ticket sales here at Taunton Town, which is lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. I've just realised I can add more substitutes onto the bench. This is wonderful stuff. With that done, though, this is going to be our lineup for the match against Portsmouth. We've got Horlick in goal, Anderson, Wakely, Fogarty and Prescott as our back four today. Turner and Gaspar in midfield. Coley, Wallace far behind Chiwome up front, who is still in fantastic form. Let me just show you this lad. 12 goals in 14 appearances and a 7.66 rating for Chiwome. He is absolutely a new club icon. He is trying his best to fill the boots of both Asante and Jaden Smith this season. I'd say actually he is doing a pretty good job of it. Portsmouth, of course, are going to be a very, very scary team to play against. They are way above us, 2 leagues above us. I haven't really looked at what their form's like. Our form is decent going into this match, but there is still going to be a little bit of a gap in terms of quality between these two teams, you would imagine. Just drop this back to key highlights a second. There we go. You'd imagine that Portsmouth will be coming here realistically expecting a win. Prescott going to bring the ball forward there. Nothing coming of that one. We have got a throw in though early on in this match, which is nice. Prescott trying to get a cross in. I think it took a deflection off of a Portsmouth defender. It looks like there's a decent, probably not a full capacity, 21,000 here. That was an awful first touch, I believe, from Fogarty there that has just allowed Portsmouth to come and have a shot at our goal. If we could have a little bit less of that today, I'd much appreciate it. I'm not expecting us necessarily to get a win, but a win would be nice. Big ball forward there. Wallace and Chiwome both looking to run onto it. Neither of them fast enough to do it. Wakely, though, has swept up that ball at the back, trying to launch us into a counter-attack here. Anderson playing at left-back today because Jaden Smith is out. Suspended. I thought Chiwome there was going to get a goal. That would be match. I mean, if we get the first goal, you've got to imagine it's slightly match changing. Portsmouth there trying to put a big ball into the box for their striker to run onto. And now Horlick just going to thump that one up the other end. Not massively useful for us. Wallace here trying to find Chiwome again. Once again, Portsmouth just sweeping up that loose ball. Not really presenting them with a huge amount of problems. We're doing all right early on in this tie. That is very early on, though. It is only 8 minutes in. Another ball there for Coley to try and run onto. I don't feel like the long balls are working at the moment. And now Portsmouth through on goal. They have hit the post. The rebound falls to Ronan Curtis there for Portsmouth. And it is 1-0 for the home team on the night. This is kind of a little bit more what we were expecting, I think. Very, very lucky there with the first shot. I think Horlick maybe just narrowed the angle enough that he couldn't quite get it on target. But the rebound falling for a Portsmouth player. Not really giving us the luck there that we need. I think we are going to need a little bit of luck in this tie if we're going to go and win it or draw it. A draw is not necessarily the most useful thing for us. It's going to increase our match congestion, and we're probably not going to get a lot of ticket sales from bringing him back to Taunton. And Fogarty has just brought a man down in the box. You might have just seen I told him to ease off the tackles, but less than 10 minutes in, we're down to 10 men. this is really not the performance we're looking for today. Wallace is going to have to come off then. In fact, no, he's not. Wallace is going to go out on the left. Coley's going to come back here. We're going to bring Holgate on instead of Coley. And I guess we're just going to go cry in the corner a little bit, because now I'd imagine Portsmouth, unless they pull a Harry Kane here, too soon, maybe too soon, but they haven't pulled a Harry Kane. They have converted it. They haven't spooned it over the bar. Talking of Harry Kane, what did everyone think? I'm recording this on Sunday night. What do we all think of the England versus France match? Are we expecting Southgate to remain England manager? Would we want him to remain England manager? Is he still England manager? I mean, it's 2 days away. Maybe he's been fired or quit his role since I've recorded this on Sunday evening. It is entirely possible. For my part, it's a bit of an awkward one, because yes, we haven't won the tournament. I do feel, watching it on Saturday night, we were playing some very, very boring vanilla football in the first half. I would have liked to have seen England not be as scared perhaps as they were of France, and go a little bit more attacking, conservatively attacking maybe, but attacking and not just passing every ball round at the back, which is pretty much what we did in the first half. Equally though, who are we bringing in instead of Southgate? So it's kind of, it's a little bit of an awkward one. Rona Curtis has just scored an absolute thunderbolt of a free kick against us there, though. We're not having the best of time against Portsmouth, really, are we? It's a little bit of a battering. I think it's kind of what we expected, as I mentioned. The fact we're down to 10 men, not inherently helpful either. My only concern with this being, I don't think it's really going to help the team morale. And it's happened before in cups. I'm sure you've all watched a Football Manager video before. Maybe you've even played it yourselves. When you have a cup loss like this, even though it's to a big team, and realistically you're not expected to come and beat Portsmouth, it does hit the morale so hard that then you start losing matches in the league against teams that really you should be beating, and it's just it just absolutely saps the morale out. Chiwome here, though, has got a run through on goal. Chiwome has pulled one back for us. If nothing else, it might end up as a consolation goal. But Chiwome proving that even against a League One opposition, the man can go and get it done. It was a run from the centre of the pitch. 3 defenders in tow behind him, all trying to get there. He's not having that. Rounds the goalkeeper for our first goal of the evening. It might well end up being our only goal, let's be honest. We got a lovely believe sign up there. Do we believe in this second half? I mean, possibly, although I would say with 10 men on the pitch and being a part-time team, the fitness levels eventually are going to catch up with us here as well. Chiwome there is just robbed, absolutely mugged on the halfway line. I mean, it was a decent tackle, but nonetheless, Portsmouth through on goal once again. That time spooning it fully over the bar, which we will take all day long. Are we likely to get anything out of here? What should we do? Turner can probably come off. Iwumene can come on for him. I think it's kind of a rare few minutes for him. And Farr is really not doing a lot on a 6.3. So I've put him in to try it. But we're going to go back to old tested and faithful Martel Taylor-Crossdale over on that right-hand side, just to try and bring maybe a little bit of leadership to the team, especially to that front three that are now missing a player in the centre of all 3 of them. Not ideal when you want to go and get a goal against Portsmouth to be missing one of your attacking players in a 4-2-3-1. But we deal with it. We deal with what we've got. We're saying we can make more substitutions. Can we make... Oh, is it the FA Cup? Can we make 5 substitutions in the FA Cup? Question mark. I feel like you can. Chiwome's through on goal again. Oh, Chiwome. Stop it. That is absolutely filthy. Next time, if you could actually score, though, that would be even better. Jack Wakely is looking tired. Let's test this. Greenridge can come on there. How do you play as a centre-back, though, my friend? That would indicate reasonable, to be fair, and we can make another substitution then. Does Prescott, we've got no one to bring on for Prescott now because of having to make that early substitution. Gaspar could come off though, and Dudziak can come on in midfield for him. That is all 5 of our substitutions. At some point in this match, if we are going to hopefully get something out of this, which again, pinch of salt, very unlikely, we're going to need to go a bit more positive, a bit more attacking. Great tackle there from Anderson. That clearance from Gaspar, though, is not fantastic, really, is it? Just lumping it against a Portsmouth player. Not really what we want you to be doing. I'm all for just hit it long and get rid of it. But probably not by giving one of your fellow teammates concussion. Big ball forward there for Wallace to look for. Chuome now. No, never mind. Chuome not getting anywhere near that. I'm assuming we're not even going to see the end of the highlight. We've got an attacking on the 75th minute, and it doesn't look like we're even going to get another highlight against Portsmouth. It is a 3-1 loss. I don't think that was the worst performance in the world. I think maybe if we hadn't had a player sent off in the first 10 minutes, we might have been able to do a little bit more. What do we get, though, in terms, then, of income? Do we know what we get in terms of income? I guess not. I mean, according to this, we've got nothing from the FA Cup, although it has got gate receipts of 128,000. So I'm guessing some of that is in there. Can we kind of see where we got that from? I guess not. Hopefully that's brought some money into the club. Maybe. Has it improved the projection? It has improved the projection quite a lot, to be fair. And it's cleared a really big chunk of the net. All right, we take that. I mean, we absolutely take that. That was kind of the point here. Why we do that, though? Board. No, we can't ask you to improve the training facilities yet. That's a little bit disappointing. We have then got a match against Notts County next, but we are going to completely ignore that one because I want to show the match against Exeter, even though Exeter are 20th in the league. But they're semi-local, so that's the one we're going to be watching. Right, guys, so not part of the actual episode, so to speak. I'm just playing the match in between, playing Notts County, but you've got to see the replay of this goal. Look at this. I mean, that's awful. Awful pass. Absolutely awful. Fleary has regained possession and just hit an absolute thunderbolt into the back of the net. Also, we're winning 3-1 against Notts County. It looks like that cup loss not going to have massively affected us. Doesn't look like we're going to have much of a slump. Anyway, see you for the Exeter game in a minute. Oh, Brown's through on goal as well. Yeah, that was always going to happen. So that match against Notts County finished at 4-1, and now we head over to Exeter in the lead. Today we're going to be using Horlick in goal, Sweeney, Wakely, Fogarty and Prescott as our back four, Turner and Gaspar in midfield behind Wallace, Fleary and Taylor Crosstell with Brown up front. The only real selection issue we've got here, in fact, if I just untick this a second, is we have got Chuome away on international duty and Akahamic, who would probably be the backup striker and right winger, also away on international duty. So Chuome away with Zimbabwe, Akahamic away with the Morocco under-20s, which isn't great because it kind of leaves us as strikers Charlie Brown, who we've had to start, and Martel Taylor-Crosstell, who is needing to start on the right wing because we played far there in the last match and he's too tired to start there. So we basically can't change a lot of our front three at the moment. We're playing Wallace out on the left and then we're playing Fleary through the centre, just so we've got a little bit more rotation there. Also, Fleary had a fantastic game. We can see at the moment we are 4th in the league, some way off the pace of Halifax up in 1st with 33 points, but very, very happily sat in 4th, shall we put it. I think that is a good place to be at this point in the season. Exeter, I believe, are down near the bottom of the table. They were 20th. I think they might now be 14th, but remembering this is a team that got promoted in real life from Sky Bet League 2 to Sky Bet League 1, and then in-game got relegated from League 1 and then relegated from League 2, and is now kind of heading towards one of two things, most likely mid-table obscurity in the National League, less likely but possible relegation from the National League, which would be, as much as I'm an Exeter fan, that would be actually hilarious. I mean, that is a bit of a fall from grace. Sweeney there has an absolutely awful first touch. Horlick's save there is possibly worse than Sweeney's first touch. Neither of those things were very good. But Sweeney there, yeah, has one touch, has a second one, gives the ball away. Exeter just smashed that one across the park into middle. Horlick dives, and it looks like he gets a hand to it and just kind of pushes it into the back of the net. Not what we want, really, guys, is it? Exeter now 13th. On those 3 points they'd get from today's match. We drop down to 6. We've dropped down to 7th now as well. We really need to get in gear here. Exeter swinging this one into the box. I've just kind of criticised them, saying that they could be mid-table obscurity or relegation, and they're running us off the park here a little bit. Adam Lewis causing us all sorts of problems. He has just got a yellow card. Maybe he'll get sent off. We're due a sending off in our favour. Gaspar out wide here to Taylor Crossdale, then trying to launch an attack for us. And that one's been played in for Prescott. Can he square this one? He can to Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown just hits the post. He's not the striker I thought he was going to be when we signed him. We signed him, remembering, before the transfer window even opened, we signed him on a contract as he was a free agent, and then he had to wait. He basically sat on trial with us forever for 2 or 3 months until he was able to actually officially join the club. He's not, he's definitely not the striker I thought he would be. You look at his technical ability and you think he'd be scoring a lot of goals. I think he's still just on the one for us. And I mean, in that highlight we saw against Notts County, that is very much what Charlie Brown does. Can get on the ball. Doesn't really do a huge amount with it, which isn't great. I'm kind of thinking here, maybe Brown needs to come off and maybe Taylor Crossdale needs to go up front and Farr can come on that right-hand side. Because although on star rating, Taylor Crossdale isn't as good, he came on the last match and scored one. He scored the 4th goal against Notts County. Turner with a corner here into the box, and Wakely just nodding that one over. I mean, we'll have a look for the next few minutes. We'll just drop a little bit of encouragement on the team, so we look better this second half, although we've only had 25% possession. What are you doing, guys? Are you nuts? Right, Taylor Crossdale over there. Charlie Farr coming on. Charlie Brown getting off my pitch because he's awful. Jack Wakely's on a 6.2 as well. Jaden Sweeney's on a 6 rating. Are my guys okay today? I mean, we can only deal with one of them. I'd argue Wakely needs to come off then. Anderson's going to come on. Jaden Sweeney, even though he's on a lesser rating, is going to have to stay on the pitch because I think he's the player of the two that's more likely to be able to turn it around in this match, although he is on a 5.9 now. Oh dear, it's all gone very, very wrong in this episode. We need to make one more substitution. I don't really know where to make it. Sweeney would be the obvious one. Prescott would also be an obvious one. But we haven't got anyone on the bench to deal with either of those two things. Tamar Fleary then. I think we just switch Wallace into the centre. Fleary can come off for Josh Coley. We'll give him a very, very rare team talk as a substitute. Not something I tend to engage in. But we're going to do it today. We're going to demand more from the team. Exeter City then. Oh dear. Maybe this is the slump from the FA Cup. We rotated the team so heavily for the match against Notts County that maybe the guys playing didn't realise we'd lost against Portsmouth in the FA Cup, and hence they were not bothered by it. Whereas these players were all present for the match against Portsmouth, or the vast majority of them, so they do realise we've lost, and their morale not very good. Farr swinging one into the box here for a substitute Coley, and Josh Coley has come on and pulled one back, absolutely smashed that one into the crossbar. We absolutely like that. We rate that very, very highly. Taylor Crossdale there. Once again, the man just causing problems, holding up the ball far. Basically, across from deep, kind of, to the far post for Coley to run on to. We'll live with that. That's very, very good. We do need to go and get a second one here for this not to be an embarrassment. No, Coley, full of beans, come on, full of energy, and he's just dancing his way up the pitch here. I say dancing, he's sprinting very, very quickly up the pitch. That wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. It looks like it's gone out for a corner, though. It has gone out for a corner. Josh Coley, I imagine, is the man taking it as well. He is. If he could swing this one in onto the head of Anderson, that would be lovely. He hasn't. It has been nodded away. Turner's nodded it back in. It's nodded away again. Turner's got hold of that one. It's absolute chaos. Coley on the ball, in the box. First touch is awful, and he's offside. Right. We've got like 5 minutes left. Do we go very attacking here? We're going very attacking. We're firing up the team. Can we get a goal, please? I don't want to lose in this match. We're going to lose in this match. Oh no. I mean, this is not the scenario I had planned out for today's match. It does mean we're still in 7th. We are still in the playoff position, so all is not lost. We're probably still in good form on the surface of things, in the grand scheme of things. We're still in good form? I don't know. Are we good form now? I mean, we beat Notts County. We've lost against Exeter. That one, very, very irritating. We're now playing 24th, 9th, 6th and 3rd consecutively. And then 1st. That's a very, very hard run of games. I don't know how I feel about that. We are going to play through some more matches, though. I don't think there's a massive need to see loads and loads of matches. We'll come back if something interesting happens, if this bout of poor form goes on a lot, or if, alternatively, if something like this happens, because we are wanted by Gillingham, Port Vale, and Livingstone now. Livingstone? They're in Scotland. I don't know how to pronounce that. Either way, if you have enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like down below. It really, really does help out and is appreciated. And until next time, guys, thanks very much for watching today. See you on tomorrow's episode.